Or what? Oh, wow. Okay. Confidence. Crazy love hawk.
All right. Whoa, hi. What are you doing?
What you wanted me to? But just for argument's sake, what are you doing?
I'm trying to escape.
Oh, yeah, escape. That's where I was going with that thing I just did.
Wait. Did you actually think we were
A new
gonna
animated
guess?
movie now playing in theaters, but is Rio a see it, rent it, or a skip it? Kevin Carr, movie critic for fatguys@themovies.com, is joining us with the answer. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Andy. How are you?
I'm great. The marketing machine for Rio is already fired up. You know, those Rio toys are in McDonald's before the movie has opened.
They got Angry Birds. They got an Angry Bird app on your phone.
The Angry Bird app on the phone. My 4-year-old has told me he wants to see it. Now, is this movie any good?
It's for a 4-year-old, great, definitely. It's an original story, which is kind of neat. It's not just a. It's like the people who did Ice Age and Robots. So it has that kind of original story about a blue macaw in Minnesota who has to go to Rio de Janeiro to mate with the last female of the species, but then of course they're targeted by exotic bird smugglers, and they have to try to escape. It's very bright colored. It's what you'd expect from something like Rio. It has some great flying sequences, some great action and comedy. But it does have its rough spots. It sort of bounces between this animated brilliance and sort of just your very mundane kids movie.
Okay.
Which isn't necessarily bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
entertaining for the mom and dad as well.
Yes.
And there are some voices in Rio that we will recognize.
Of course, that's the big thing. You always got to have the famous voices in there.
Who do we have? Jamie Foxx, I know.
Jamie Foxx, he plays another character not in this scene, but the birds in the beginning were Jesse Eisenberg and Anne Hathaway. Of course, you recognize both of them. This is George Lopez plays the toucan. So it's got a bunch of good voices. I'm a little done with Jesse Eisenberg myself. So
he doesn't overexposed.
Yeah.
What's your verdict on Rio? From what I've seen, it looks pretty good. Is it a see it, rent it, or skip it?
I'm going to say it's a rent it. I mean, it is fun for excursion for the family. It holds it together better than Hop does.
Yeah.
But it might be a Blu-ray release. That's why they named it.
We need to add a new category to yours, like dollar theater. Sometimes we wait till it's in the cheap theater, then we'll go before the rent. All right, so that's Rio. The next one, the only other one we're going to talk about is Scream 4, which you have now just seen hours ago, the midnight showing.
That's right.
Wes Craven's fourth Scream. Was it any good?
Well, here's the thing. You got to realize it's the fourth movie.
And last.
Well, who knows?
They're saying it is.
Well, that's great until the numbers come in. If it does really super well, it'll be a Scream 5.
14.
With the 5 as the S. But
Courtney Cox is back. Neve Campbell's back.
She's back. Everyone's back. A lot of the same cast of the ones that weren't dead from the other series. This is Wes Craven rebooting his own franchise. Started about 15 years ago, which rebooted the slasher genre, and it really kind of turns in on itself. And it's of course the Ghostface Killer killing more kids. And they're coming back, and what it does is it kind of turns in on itself and makes jokes about the genre, about its own actors, and that's what I enjoyed the most. If you are a fan of the series,
it pokes fun at itself.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as much as a comedy as I did as a slasher film, and it was an intentional comedy. This was not an unintentional comedy. It's not perfect.
David Arquette, of course.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox Arquette's now, I guess, estranged husband.
Well, they go back and forth. I mean, I guess technically in Hollywood terms, they're still happily married because that's as happy as you get in Hollywood.
And they've been married a long time by Hollywood standards.
They met on the first screen. That's how they got to get to know each other.
That's absolutely right, and that was many years ago now. So Scream 4, what's your verdict, Kevin Carr? See it, rent it, skip it.
Again, it's a rent it. It's not I mean, if you're a huge fan, go out there. The fans were there last night, and they loved it at the midnight show. But I mean, for your run-of-the-mill average person, it'll be okay.
Casual Scream fan, wait till it's out on Redbox or something.
Yeah.
All right, well, terrific. Rio, rent it. Scream 4, rent it too. So don't go to the movies this weekend. That's from Kevin Carr.
There's a lot of rentals this last couple of weeks.
It's gonna rain tonight too. It's a good movie night. All right, thanks, Kevin, for your time. Have a great weekend.
All right.